Hey guys, Cameron with CPM Reviews here, and I'm here for the newest WandaVision episode. This is episode 3, now in color. I'm going to give you the recap, some things that I noticed. Now, I'm not an expert, so if I miss some things, please forgive me, but we're going to get right into this episode right now. Thanks so much for clicking on this episode. You're a fan of this sort of thing, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please hit that notification bell so you know as soon as I upload. At the end of last episode, we found Wanda was pregnant, and we...
They had sex.
We're confused as to how this happened so quickly. And in this episode, we find out Vision is wondering it as well. As a doctor comes to check on the babies, and he's like, oh, everything's fine. She's about 4 months along or so. And Vision's like, no. And Wanda's like, yes. And I find it so interesting that the doctor's name is, his last name is Nielsen, which is funny because, first off, that's kind of the gauge on how many people watch a certain thing. And number two, that was a name they used a whole lot in the 70s, which I completely forgot to mention at first. This episode is totally like something out of the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch, especially with the opening. The song has a very Partridge Family feel, and then at the end it has like the square with like all the pictures in it, and it looks very Brady Bunch-ish. Except they're all hexagons, and that's been a running theme in this show. There have been hexagons at the end of both episodes 1 and 2, and now we have seven hexagons. No, it's 8, I can't count. 8 hexagons at the beginning of this show, so there's definitely something six-sided going on. Speaking of things going on around here, Wanda's pregnancy seems to be advancing at an alarming rate, and usually when Vision's back is turned. At the beginning of this episode, it was determined she was about 4 months along. Vision walks the doctor out. The doctor says he's going to Bermuda, which I felt was kind of strange.
The Bermuda Triangle is a very strange and mysterious place.
And then when he comes back in the house, now she's 6 months pregnant. So every single time he kind of turns his back, things go haywire. And speaking of things going haywire, every single time that Wanda has a contraction, things go haywire. The vacuum cleaner will start moving itself, or the sink will start sudsing up, or just things go nuts. Meanwhile, in between contractions, they're talking about standard parents things like, what are we gonna name this kid? And she wants to name him Tommy, and he wants to name him Billy, and that is completely in the comics with Wiccan and Speed. But we can worry about that in the future, because as of right now, the kids aren't here yet.
At the moment.
I heard that.
But in the midst of everything, things are still strange happening on in this town of Westview. And Vision's starting to notice a lot of things going wrong. He's noticing that, the dinner with the hearts, and then he's noticing something weird going on outside with her. Vision's noticing a lot of things going wrong, but there's no time to worry about that because there's a baby coming, and he's got to get the doctor before he goes off to Bermuda. So off Vision goes to get the doctor, and while he's gone, here comes Geraldine. She decides to be called Foxy at this point.
Foxy Love, a mystery-solving musician.
I'm like Sherlock Holmes.
Even though Wanda's trying to hide her pregnancy with like a coat, and then she uses a bowl of fruit, and then Foxy or Geraldine or whoever she is, yes, I'm pretty sure at this point I know who she is, but we're gonna call her by the name she wants to be called as of right now. She's talking about something that's going on at work, and there's a stork in the house. There's a stork in the house. And Wanda's like, don't look at this stork. Please don't see this stork. And she doesn't, but then the babies decide, yep, we're coming right now. And she delivers the first baby, who is little Tommy. And Vision shows up with the doctor, which, another thing about this doctor's name, the wife was like, what are we gonna do, Stan? And I do believe that this is a direct nod to Stan Lee. He passed 2 years ago, or at this point it's 2.5 years ago. So of course he couldn't be in the show, but I feel like this was their nod to him. So the doctor gets there just in time to do nothing because the baby's here. Then here comes baby number 2. So the babies are here and they're fine and healthy, 20 fingers and 20 toes, and Vision decides to go walk the doctor out. Now, 2 very important things happen when the doctor is walked out. We're going to talk about what goes on outside first. And the doctor says, you know, I'm going to cancel my trip. And Vision's like, why are you going to cancel the trip? And he's like, well, it's so hard to escape. And Agnes is talking with Herbert over by the wall, which something weird happened with Herbert earlier in the episode. And Vision's like, what are you guys doing over there? And they're like, oh, we're not doing anything. And their power's out because Wanda, you know, she had a contraction. And it looks like they're trapped, but they can't say that they're trapped. And Herb wants to tell him, but it seems like he can't say it. Now, Agnes looks like she is, I'm not sure, but she's scared of something. And so they decide not to tell Vision, but Vision knows something really strange is up. Now that's what's going on outside the house. What is going on inside the house? Wanda is, you know, loving on her babies, and she starts talking about how she was also a twin, and her twin was Pietro. And then Geraldine drops the ball. He was killed by Ultron, wasn't he? Boom.
You didn't see that coming.
Wanda is like, what did you say? And Geraldine walks this dog way back. But at this point, it doesn't matter if the dog has walked back. It already pooped in the yard. And Wanda is mad. She's like, no, what did you say about Pietro? And needless to say, Geraldine is not in the house anymore. Vision comes back and he's like, where'd Geraldine go? And Wanda's like, she left. And next time we see Geraldine, she's flying through the air and she gets ejected out of wherever she is. And she was wearing a sword necklace. And so this is our first glimpse into who Geraldine is in the show. She is not just some neighbor. She is more than likely a sword operative, and it's more than likely Monica Rambeau. I didn't want to make that leap just yet last week, but I'm almost certain of it. And this episode has a commercial as well. This time it's for Hydra soap. So it does look like it's going in that progression where, you know, things started with the Stark bomb and then it goes with Strucker finding them and Strucker's part of Hydra. So we are seeing this progression. And one last little tidbit that I did notice. At the very end when Geraldine or Monica is ejected from this strange world, the dimensions on the episode changes. And it goes from the 4x3 aspect to a very more cinematic aspect. And I can't help but think that we are about to find some actual answers as to what's going on in this world next week. So that is my recap of episode 3 on WandaVision. Let me know if you guys watched it in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and share this with your friends. As always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.